To today's class. I think that's all right with the board. Let me know if you find it difficult to see on the board and I will completely ignore you. Okay, so we're going to deal with singular they today. Now this is a weird topic and I wanted to talk about it just because it's bothered me for some time, this particular question. So they is obviously plural. It usually refers to more than one person. Yeah, he or she or its. Let's call them the singular pronouns. Yeah, he, she, and it. And of course, in the object form, it will be him, her, and it. And in the possessive form, it will be his, her, and its, with no apostrophe. Okay? Hello? So these are the singular forms. However, we have actually been using they as a singular form for hundreds of years. And you can see this in any of the old literature, old writing. You can see that they certainly have been using they as a singular form for hundreds of years. So what's the deal with they? Is it singular or is it plural? A lot of people have asked. And the truth is that we use they or them in the object form or their in the possessive form, especially the possessive one, but we use these ones also for singular forms sometimes. Now, if you're writing something for academic purposes, you need to be quite careful with subject-verb agreement. You need to make sure that all of your verbs match up with your subjects. If your subject is singular, your verb ought to be singular. If your subject is plural, your verb ought to be plural. And so in an academic essay, singular and plural are rather important and you must be careful. However, there are many situations where you really can't use the singular form, even though you're dealing with a plural subject, a plural noun. And I want to look at least 5 situations where you will not hear English people using singular forms to refer to singular nouns. And this really is always the case. We just don't use singular forms for anyone, everyone, someone, a good teacher, when we don't know the gender of the anyone, the everyone, the someone, the good teacher. Yeah, if we don't know if that person's a he or a she, we use they. We use the plural form. So this is why we call it singular they. It's referring to a singular noun, but it's actually the plural form. Now, by the way, during this class, if any of you have got any suggestions for what kind of topics you'd like to learn about, please let me know. You can write it up and I'll see it on the phone, and I'll try to do a class on that subject. I have you'll need to make that a little bit shorter, a little bit clearer, like a theme, a topic that you would like to learn about. You know, if it's a very long question, I won't be able to do that at the moment. But if there are any themes or topics that you're interested in, please let me know and I'll try and do them soon. I've got actually a lot of topics that I want to talk about that are from the book that I've just finished writing. So I hope that book will be available to everybody in the next week or so, and I hope that you'll all be able to buy it for Christmas, and hopefully it will be in your stocking. But you can see that this they, even though I want you to be careful with they, them and their in academic writing, we still have to accept that it's not always possible to use a singular form for anyone, everyone, someone when we don't know the gender. So has anyone brought a mobile phone? Would be one way of doing it. And I do recommend that if you're dealing with academic writing, perhaps a would be the best option here, yeah? Has anyone brought a mobile phone? Then you don't need to worry about singular or plural. You're using an article, and articles don't care about singular or plural. They don't change for singular or plural, right? And so A is the best choice in an academic paper, because in academic papers we have to be much more careful with singular and plural. We're trying to write clearly so that everybody understands us. But in everyday English, I guarantee you'll hear people say there. Yeah? Has anyone brought their mobile phone? And it's because you're talking to males and females, you're talking to men and women, and so, you know, you don't know if it's a boy or a girl, it could be both. You're just asking, have any men or have any women brought their mobile phone, yeah? And so we just use the plural here, even though anyone is definitely singular, yeah? And you can see it's singular because it's got a singular verb, has, yeah? It's got a singular verb, okay? So all we're going to deal with is this singular, singular, and then plural, which is odd, you know, it is weird, but it's been in the language for hundreds of years. It's not going anywhere. It's already right there in our speech. And if you listen carefully, you'll certainly hear people saying this. So look at number 2. Everyone ought to arrive with, yeah, maybe we're talking about school kids. So there's loads of boys and girls in the class. Everyone will say, everyone ought to arrive with their mum and dad. Yeah, everyone will say that. Everyone will use the plural, even though this is very singular and everyone is, yeah? We always say everyone is, we never say everyone are. So this is singular, but this is plural. So just be aware of it. I mean, this is just a little lesson just to make you aware that we do use they for singular. And we have for hundreds of years. Okay, number 3, someone. We don't know which someone, maybe male, maybe female. Someone left their keys at my house, yeah? We'd always say that in speech. If you're writing an academic essay, change it for some, yeah? Someone left some keys at my house, and you've got it sorted, more or less, yeah? You haven't got this problem of singular and plural in the same sentence. So there are ways of avoiding it, yeah? We could use a here. What could we use here? Everyone ought to arrive with... You could just get rid of it, couldn't you? Mum and dad, yeah? We could just get rid of it and then we don't have that singular plural problem. So it's just something to avoid in academic writing. But in everyday English, do what the English do and use their. I mean, there's no reason why not, and you will sound natural. So someone left their keys at my house, or someone left some keys at my house, or someone left a set of keys at my house. Something like that will fix it for an academic essay. Okay, number 4, a good teacher always checks. There's nothing we can do here. The teacher could be male, could be female, so we've got to say their, checks their students' work, yeah? But we could change this. We could say a good teacher always checks the students' work. So we can certainly get rid of their and say the, yeah? The students' work. Okay, so that's one way of fixing that one. Most of the time there is a way of fixing it in academic essays, but in number 5, there ain't no way of fixing it, yeah? There is no way of fixing it in perhaps more formal English. Everyone agrees with me. What we're going to put here as a question tag? Are we going to say, doesn't he or she? Or does that sound ridiculous? Everyone agrees with me, doesn't he or she? Never say that, that's ridiculous. You're just going to have to say, don't they? And I can't see any way that you can avoid that. Sometimes it's literally unavoidable. Singular they will occasionally be literally unavoidable. Okay, so be aware of singular they. Don't worry about it, don't stress about it, but just be aware of it and do your best to avoid any kind of academic essay where you're using singular and plural. But I must admit, something like this with a question tag, it's simply impossible to avoid. Okay, so that was just a little lesson about singular and plural and they. But if there are any topics, any subjects that you would like to study, you're welcome to put them under the video. I do take people's advice here. I tend to take the advice of my own students because I'm trying to make the videos for them, and of course they are paying students and so they are my priority. But still, if you have any ideas, I do listen, and I do occasionally make a video when somebody has requested a certain topic, especially if I think it will be useful for my students. Okay, so there will be a book out very soon. I'm going to be making a lot of lessons this week, and so please stay subscribed to the channel and be ready for lots of live classes. You'll be pleased to know I've just bought another bulb for my light, so it should be a little bit brighter in here. But I hope to do a few videos on some completely new topics, nothing to do with English or grammar, and they'll be coming very soon, but loads of grammar as well, because the book that I've just finished is about grammar, and really it's about understanding grammar as a native understands grammar. And the book is aimed at natives, although it is ideal for anybody above upper intermediate level. Okay, so that book will be available soon, so be ready to get that in your stocking. And if anybody does want I wrote this a couple of years ago now, Visual Phrasal Verbs. This is my vocabulary book on phrasal verbs. And so if you do want to buy a book, this has got plenty of pictures in it, plenty of exercises. It's available for £20 in black and white on Amazon, or £35 in colour, but you can buy it from my website. The PDF version is in colour, it's electronic, and it's got hyperlinks, and it's only £20. So please do pick up a copy for Christmas. I'm sure lots of you are wondering, what can you buy your friends and relatives for Christmas? Well, if they enjoy English, please think about visual phrasal verbs, or if they enjoy grammar, the grammar of English, do wait about a week and I will bring this book out. And I'm hoping it will be a bit cheaper than that book, because there aren't any pictures inside this book. This is a grammar book. It's full of exercises, and it teaches grammar using literature rather than anything else. I believe that grammar ought to be obvious in the books that you read, and this grammar book is supposed to make grammatical structures like appositives, absolute phrases, participles. They're supposed to make that really obvious so that you can read a book and break up the information in the sentences into different phrases and clauses, so that you can completely understand the syntax and completely understand the structure. Okay, thanks everybody for watching. I hope, please give me a like, subscribe, all the rest of it. Please buy my books, and I hope to see you all soon.